What Devils? J-Dog back with another segment of, let's call this Devils Ask, J-Dog Answers. It's got another question, and I'm going to answer it here right on video for you. So with no further ado, let me get the question out. It's from Lorian, the Epic 112. So you comment on a bunch of other videos. I think I might ask on a couple other of your questions. But anyways, had a good one here that we can have a conversation about. And his question was, are there any bands that you enjoy that many others tend to dislike? Well, so I kind of thought about that question a little bit, and I grabbed some stuff too, so I'll give you guys a little bit of show and tell. Don't just have to look at my ugly mug the whole time. I mean, it really would depend on how you define that, because like bands that, like for example, any band you could say technically a band like Cannibal Corpse. Most people tend to dislike, right? Go into Walmart and ask people, you like Cannibal Corpse? Like Cannibal Corpse? If there's 200 people in there, you might get fucking 20 people that heard of them, 5 that like them, and the other 180 never heard of them nor would like them, right? So technically, that's a band. It's my favorite band. But in the metal scene, obviously, very fucking popular and, huge band. So it depends how you define it. So the way I go by it is, and I'm going to take the question is, bands in the underground where I don't give a shit about. I don't give a shit what the outsiders think, and I don't even in even like the bigger generalized metal scene that is still kind of true metal. I don't even really give a fuck what they think. I care about I don't care what anyone thinks, but I'm just saying what the general opinion that kind of fucking matters that we're going to go on this channel is the general underground, right? So, and the reason I wanted to clarify that is because the bands I'm going to pick is like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jade? Everyone likes those bands. What do you mean people tend to dislike? I'm going by underground, guys, good? Not the fucking general, like I said, not the general population, but the big underground. People who listen to just Metallica and all that crap, because honestly, their opinions are just completely irrelevant to me. So, what I tend to notice in the metal underground, with a lot of people don't like, bands I do like, is well, I'll just rattle them off. The 3 that come to my mind is the 2 most obvious would be Cradle of Filth, dimmu Borgir, and another band I really throw in there is Old Man's Child. Now, I like everything by all those bands? No, but I do like the early shit. So, for example, take probably the most nails on a chalkboard one for most people would be Cradle of Filth, right? So I like the last album I liked by Cradle of Filth was the Midian album, and I think that album came out in 01, 02, maybe. Nah, it definitely wasn't 2000. Maybe as early as 2000, but I'm almost positive it was either 01 or 02. That was the last album I liked, and when it first came out, actually, I didn't even like it at first. I'm like, this sounds pretty fucking wimpy and weak. Definitely took a few listens, and then it did grow on me, and I do like it to this day, but I didn't like anything after that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the album, even after Midian, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I think maybe I heard it once, and I was like, I didn't like it whatsoever. And the majority of whatever they did in the last, I don't know, 10 years, I probably never even heard, never even bothered to listen to. So who knows? I'm sure it sucks, though. But yeah, in the general underground, like I said, most people just look at them as like, I don't know, a poser band, a trendy band for goth chicks. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the general consensus. So that's a band I consider that people don't that I like that others tend to dislike, right? But again, I obviously realize it's a super popular band, so all in all, more people like them than dislike them, right? And even in the overall metal scene, but in the underground and the real metal scene, yeah, it seems like a lot of people don't like them. I mean, some people might like, especially you guys, if you think like oh, even the old albums, I've heard them, they suck. One thing you guys might like in the real underground heads is check out their demos. Their demos sound nothing like any of the albums. If you're in a death metal and shit like that, you don't like the demos. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Those are some pretty brutal fucking demos. They're like pretty much like pure death metal and like with some like black and undertones. Like, just go check them out. Yeah, it was much different, and that even more different than the first album, especially like the very first album for sure. Pretty raw shit and stuff like that. So yeah, so I like those, and like I said, the first would have been the first 4 or 5 albums. Midian's the 4th or 5th. Depends if you consider the Vampire full length or not, because that's considered EP. But yeah, those, and show you a little bit of stuff. I have pretty much, I think, all the albums that I mentioned by Cradle Foot that I like own CDs and LPs of those, but no need to show those because obviously you know what those look like. But what I do like is this is the only bootleg vinyl I own by them, and I really like this record. Sounds really good too, and it's recorded live in Ohio. This is the tour I saw them on, but wasn't at this show. I saw them in the Cleveland show, and this is the Columbus, Ohio show. So this is the first time I seen them was on this tour. So ironically enough, and somebody did an LP of it, who I may or may not know that person. Now it's no names mentioned, but yeah, when this came out, I thought it was really really cool, and I definitely picked it up. And it's called Scars and Stripes Tour 1999. Again, this particular show I was not at, but I was at the Cleveland show on this tour. So I'm assuming this is the day after, day before, the same week, something like that. I don't know. This is the backside. Look at that fucking cold chamber looking juggalo. Yeah. So I mean, I get see it's guys like this, like what the fuck you doing, dude? Like that's why they got the rap they did because even like Danny there, he actually looks, actually respectable. Actually looks like he's in the fucking metal, right? So yeah, those other fucking posers. Let me show you the records. A double vinyl. Remember this? It's been a while since I listened to this, but I remember it sounding very fucking good. Double LP side A, just black vinyl on this. It looks like the other. I didn't even remember this. It's like the other record, the CD side, is on a color vinyl, which I didn't even remember that. It's on a red black splatter, which is really cool. I believe because this has been a long time since I got this. I got this over 10 years ago, and I believe when it was advertised that it was only 200 made. So yeah, live bootleg, really good sound quality from my members. When like, I probably haven't listened to this in about, I don't remember the last time, but nonetheless, really glad to have it. Really rare. I believe only, like I said, I'm almost positive there's only 200 of these made. So yeah, that's something to show you there. And look, and this is so on that tour, that was when I first seen Cradle of Filth at the Cleveland show of that tour. And I think they were touring not for Cruelty and the Beast. It might have been for the what was that EP called? From the Cradle to Enslave. I think that was out because I think on there, or maybe that hasn't even come out yet. Because I remember on that tour, especially reminding me listening to that LP when I heard it, he introduces that song as a brand new song. So I don't know if it's like brand new songs that just came out that EP or brand new song. Hey, here's what's coming out next. So that's when that was. And then this, I've seen them. This was on the Midian tour then, and this is when I actually met Danny. So show you guys a little fucking story time. It's me, Eric, and Chase. I don't know who the fuck this is there. He was at shows I kind of vaguely remember. Don't remember his name, whatever. I don't know why the hell he's in the photo. Get the fuck out of the shot, man. But there's me right in the middle, then Eric and Chase and Danny Filth. But that was the only time I met him, and he was, he was friendly, he was cool, signed our shit, and you know, didn't have too much interaction, asked too many questions, but yeah, he was friendly, short little guy, and yeah, so really Cradle of Filth shit I like. Dimmu Borgir, I saw them for the first time ever was in '99 as well, and that would have been for the Spiritual Black Dimensions tour, and then I seen them the tour after that, which was a puritanical euphoric misanthrope, which was the last record I liked. That might actually be my favorite. It's between Spiritual Black Dimensions and that one. I Throw in Darkness Triumph I really like a lot too. But anyways, the puritanical down is what I like. The first album I think is kind of boring to be honest. I got to go back and listen to it, but every time I do listen to it, I'm kind of bored. Stormblast, I like it. I think the music on it's good, but it's got too much fucking BS going on it. Like a lot of the keys and shit, and just a lot of the bullshit. Like just get to the fucking metal, guys. It's almost like an EP in my opinion because you cut out all the BS. It's fucking there's not that much black metal on there, but the actual black metal on there I do like. So yeah, it seems like puritanical and if Their Own Darkness Triumphs and Spiritual Black Dimensions is what I primarily listen to. After the puritanical, like I said, I seen them on that tour as well. That was the last time I seen them. I forget the album that came out after that. I remember it was just a pentagram. And it looked really photoshopped the cover. What's the name of the album? I remember not liking that at all, and I never listened to anything since then. So, and I never even went back and listened to that album. So that album came out probably '04, '05, I'm assuming somewhere there. Remember hearing it when it came out, didn't like it, didn't go to the tour, never listened to it again, and never listened to anything they put out since. So I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So when I say I like the Damie Warrior, I like yeah, just those early albums. So you figure 2002, 2003 ish. That might have been '03, Puritanical. Or at least I think that's when the tour was. That was the last thing I liked, and that down. And again, a lot of people in the underground would tend to just probably I don't know think that it's just trendy black metal or chick black metal. I don't know. At least last used to be the consensus of me growing up, but who knows fucking nowadays, right? And then the other band I mentioned, which it also seemed like just the general consensus of the underground air in there, like us, keyboard girl, black metal was that I mentioned was Old Man's Child. I don't know every album by them. I never heard anything I thought sucked. I But the first these two I'm going to show because these came out semi recently. They came through Hell's maybe in the last couple of years. He repressed them a couple times. This Cosmic Keys. He did vinyls of these. The two albums that I really do like. He did two others, the Revelations, and I'm looking over. I forget what the other one's called. I don't know those albums, but when I do listen to them, I like them. So back when I'm fucking 60 years old and I got time to go back to this stuff, I'll get to know the albums, right? But obviously I'll put them on before that too. But these are the albums I really know. The first two, and actually this is the second one I believe, right? Born in the Flickering. Do I have it right? I think it's the second one. Born in the Flickering, and these LPs are really nice. Like I said, gatefold cover. Prior to these, I got this probably then. This came through the Hells maybe around the COVID time, maybe before that, somewhere around there. But I think he did two colors. I just got this one, this double LP. Looks a nice ass splatter. Because prior to these, all I owned was the CDs of both these albums, the first two. I never had any. Yeah, look at this. Actually, because it's a 3-sided record. It's got printed on the D side. So this was actually, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the second album. Because I get them kind of mixed up. This is the first two I like. The reason I kind of remember this was actually the first one I heard, and I loved it. And it's kind of considered. This is kind of what I consider like depressive black metal, in my opinion. Now I know people don't probably put them as that. They think of bands like, I don't know, Life Lover and shit like that, which I'm not a fan of. I kind of consider this because at least it's good songs with a lot of melody and I don't know, just a lot of feel behind it. And so I really really like this album actually a lot. This was the first one I heard, and then this is I'm almost positive I got them that order, the first album, or it's vice versa, but I'm almost positive this is the first and one of the Flicker a second, which I'm a huge fan of this record as well. And I don't know which one I like more because like I said, I heard this one second, and I might actually like this one more though, even though it's usually the album that you hear first that you like the most. This one's kind of really. It's funny because especially on this album, again, it might not be a current thing, so don't. I think like Young Bucks, we're talking about like, I like Old Man Child. Like, this is great. Who doesn't like them? It's just at the time of the early 2000s, I could tell you in the underground bands like this, dimmu, Cradle, Filth, they were definitely ripped on for sure. In the underground, for sure, you're looking at like, what? You like that gay shit? Like, who likes that? That was the vibe in the air. Now in 2022, who the fuck knows? But that's what was said. But so if that's still the general consensus, I find it kind of strange because a band that's kind of like really like considered like cult and super fucking evil black metal is the band Goat Moon, which I really do. I like Goat Moon actually a lot, most of their stuff. And it's funny because I can hear a lot in their parts, and especially some of the melodic parts. A lot of it sounds like this album here. I could pick out tons of parts of like that literally sounds like Old Man's Child, The Pagan Prosperity. So this sounds great. So when they rip on that, but they like Goat Moon, and I'm not saying, like I said, I don't know if that consensus is still going on in 2022 or 2021 or 2020, but it was in fucking 2002, 2003, for fucking sure. In 2005, it just definitely was. Like people like Jimmy Uborg, you like that? What the fuck? That's what people would say then. 100 fucking percent. But yeah, might not be the case now. Gatefold cover. So any of you guys, yeah, if that is a consensus still, any of you Cavalt fucking black metal guys and you like Goat Moon and stuff, and you're just ripping on Old Man's Child because that's the vibe in there, at least check this record out. If you like the Goat Moon stuff, like Varjad and just in my opinion, good albums, the Stella Polaris, Death Before Dishonor, most of their albums I like. Some of the ones like they just did that last disc, which is it's not even metal music, it's just a bunch of fucking organs and keys and shit. I don't like that stuff. But the black metal albums I like, and like I said, if you like that, if you love all that stuff, especially the melodic part, stuff like that, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like this. So check it out if you haven't heard it. If you're just ripping on it because you think there's just a big band or a trendy band or whatever, I think the name Old Man's Child's kind of dumb. Like I don't know why they called it that or whatever. I guess I'd like to know the story behind that. But here's the colored vinyl, nice ass color job on that. So yeah, I think these are I said, these two albums are great. The ones after this, like I said, I listened to them, don't know them. Did listen to them, I did enjoy them. They're definitely much more produced and kind of polished and I guess radio friendly, if that's a term you want to be used nowadays. I remember that was the term really being thrown around in the early 2000s, especially on bands like this. That's what I said. They get ripped on radio friendly metal or whatever. So yeah, that's what I consider bands that most people don't tend not to like that I do like. So yeah, it could look a little ridiculous, especially if someone stumbles across this and like, what do you mean those bands are popular as fuck? But like I said, not in the underground. At least they weren't at the time when I first got them. And then, nowadays, I don't kind of like whatever. I don't even know what the fuck. Things just change. I mean, hell, I remember when Carcass Swan Song first came out, because I actually liked that album, not as a Carcass album, but just as an album. Just wish Carcass would have done it as a different band name. I remember when I was listening to that album, nobody, I literally didn't know a single human being on this fucking planet that liked that album. Nobody, not anybody. But now I bump into people that like it. I remember when Earache Records reissued the vinyl, Hell's Headbangers got them in. I think we got like 50 of them in, and we sold all of them in like a week. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, it's cool, but I'm like, when I liked this album as a teenager, I was like, nobody would have bought this. I'm 100% positive nobody would have bought it from us. And nobody liked it. Everyone talked shit about it. But now, yeah, it's a cool fucking record. I was like, I've been saying that for years. So who the fuck knows? Maybe everybody in the underground loves these albums, right? So I don't know. But they didn't want to. That was what I considered unpopular that I tend to like. That's what comes to my mind. But if there's anything else like underground wise that I tend to like that people don't, I don't know. Nobody comes to mind. That was the first stuff that came to mind, so that's why I pulled it aside. And that's the answer I got for you, man. So keep submitting those questions, guys, and I'll answer them. And see you on the next one. Later.